everybody. This is Luca Majno again with Frank Gregory Ford. This is Global News Update on TLBTB, created as a part of and thanks to the Liberty Beacon Project, where we give you complete, up-to-date, backstage info on the developments occurring in our world today. How are you doing, Greg?
Hey, fine form, Luca, as always.
Well, I'm going to lead you in. I'm going to lead you in today on Snapshot, and we'll understand why as we go along.
Okay.
This is all about truth and about propaganda, and this one guy that has just about had enough of the two-party system. Okay, this is our first shot on Snapshot. This guy looks like a 3%er, one ass on one hand, one elephant on the other, and he's going, I'm just about had it with you two. And which leads me to propaganda, which is very important, because propaganda works best, as the Minister of Public Enlightenment in Nazi Germany said once. It works best when those being manipulated are confident that they're acting of their own free will.
I've heard that.
Right. And, you know, I just want to throw you little tiny snippets today, because just to make us think. One very difficult one to swallow is the little kid dressed up in his dad's uniform, his dad's like uniform, saying, "Don't worry, Dad, I'll protect Mom," over his coffin. And I thought, protect her from what? And that's a whole other show. What do people see when they see military personnel? They see people, right? I see pawns, like in a chess game. And then you get the village idiot standing there with Cheney, both up with their arms up, waving, and it says, the meme says, "We invaded and occupied a country, then we wrote torture policies that created an insurgency, which is now ISIS. You're welcome." So, these are all things that we need to think about. Trump is sitting there looking at the camera, and he's like, and the meme says, that moment when the CIA explains to you how hurricanes and droughts are on the list of weapons at your disposal. Right? And this is what the case is with Harvey and the geoengineering project that we saw last time. Very quickly, I wanted to throw Israel in there, Greg. Somebody's been doing the math. They figured this out. Since 1949, the U.S. has given Israel a total of 83 trillion, over 83 trillion. The interest costs borne by the U.S. taxpayer on behalf of Israel is somewhere around 49 trillion or 50, which makes the total amount given as aid to Israel since 1949 over 133 trillion. That may mean that the U.S. government has given more federal aid to the average Israeli citizen in 1 year than it's given to the average American citizen. So Greg's taking notes. This is good.
You bet I am. You bet.
This next shot, let me just get through this real quick. This next shot with George Washington is priceless too. If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led like sheep to the slaughter. This is how things work. I got a really good one by P.J. O'Rourke. He says, it's not an endlessly expanding list of rights. I mean, the right to education, the right to healthcare, the right to food and housing. That's not freedom. That's dependency. Those aren't rights. They are rations of slavery. Listen to them again. The right to education, the right to healthcare, the right to food and housing. It's like they're rations of slavery, like hay and a barn for human cattle. Something to think about. There's an Indian sitting by a tree, and the judge comes up to him. The Indian looks at him and says, "On what grounds do you justify violating our rights?" The judge answers him. He says, "Precedent. We've always violated your rights." Okay? And this is what's happening with the world today. This is what's happening with us. We non-natives or Europeans living where they were today, we're treated the same way. We've always had our rights violated. And coming to the end of Snapshot for today, very quickly, Everyone is at different stages of consciousness. There's a certain stage you reach when your intent is only to speak your truth, not to convince others of it. You begin to realize that everyone has their own path. In other words, you can't convince a baby that it should be walking when it's at the crawling stage. To convince it of that truth is irrelevant. So, you know what you're doing, you know what stage you're at, you know what your growth is at, and you do what you have to do. Like the lion. The truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Just let it loose and it will defend itself. And as I speak of truth, and I'm going to talk about 9/11 very quickly, but Greg, this is probably one of the most important ones. My grandmother used to say, the truth is like the moon and stars. She says, a reminder, persistence and consistency. And this is exactly how water gorges, the most beautiful mountain gorges or canyons, that's how they were built, not by force. The water uses gentle and persuasive persistence and consistency. And it's just like 9/11. We can't speak of truth without talking about 9/11, the Barbara Honeygers, the Susan Lindauers, the Christopher Bolins, the Richard Gages, and the Frank Gregory Fords of the world. This is exactly what we're here for. A slight change to this show because of the immediacy of the news and the programming that we have to put in here. Speaking of 9/11, we have to first introduce www.911tap.org, TAP for short, the 9/11 Truth Action Project. Greg, welcome to the show. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Because I have slides here showing what it's going to be about. It's an event with a film. It says here, the historic 9/11 film event, which is going to be held at Foley Square.
Okay, sure. Barbara Honegger will be hosting it. And of course, for those who don't know, Barbara Honegger, she is the author of The October Surprise. Now, anybody who's been awake in the last 5 years or 10 years would know that when you say October Surprise, that refers to the Iran-Contra issue. And I've heard it now in reference to the issue with Donald Trump, okay, and also with Hillary Clinton, what's going on. So yes, Barbara is a good friend of mine, by the way, and she actually came to me with certain questions about the issues of how the Pentagon was attacked, all right? And she has, since that time, she has become the world's expert on the attack on the Pentagon, all right? Do I need to tell everybody what she thinks about the attack on 9/11 of the Pentagon? No, yeah. Well, let's face it. If I need to tell you, then you need to wake up, all right? Yes, it very clearly appears that the 9/11 attack, and this will be coming out on her lecture on 9/11 at Ground Zero, okay, is, first of all, Flight 93 wasn't just suspicious. They still haven't figured out what happened at Shanksville, all right? They even have the voice recordings, and they still can't figure it out. The Pentagon was struck by something that didn't look anything like a plane, all right? Okay, and plus the trajectory of the plane, I mean, even the world's best pilots couldn't imitate and replicate what happened with that plane. So that's what Barbara is she's going, in fact, she's headed back right now to New York City for the Ground Zero celebration. They have it every year now, pretty much, but it's all 3D. It's going to be exceptional. She's going to host it for the 2 hours, narrate the entire sequence of events. And my question to her before she went back is, in December 9th, 1941, or excuse me, December 7th, 1941, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think everybody knows that by now.
They did too.
Right.
Right.
And that was the last time that officially that war was declared. Okay. Now I'm a little confused. All right. Yes, the war was never officially declared in Korea. It was never officially declared in Vietnam. Okay. It was never officially declared when we went into Iraq. But what I'd like to know is the two countries that officially attacked us on 9/11 were Israel. All right. That's what they call it when Israel, who we've just, as you just said, has given how many? We've given how many trillions of dollars to 125, 24 trillion,
over 133.
133 trillion dollars. And then I find out that this country sent Israel $9 trillion to attack us, and destroy the World Trade Center. Okay.
Yeah, let me give you a little hint. I want that goddamn ship on the bottom of the ocean.
Boy, who is that? Who's that speaking, Luca? Okay, that's the kind of malignant, incestuous relationship we've had with the Rothschild Bank, the Rothschild family, and they take, by the way, Nathan Rothschild takes complete credit for starting Israel, for building Israel. Okay,
absolutely.
And how many trillions of dollars is the Rothschild Bank worth now? I forget what comes after a trillion. Zillion? Okay. They're almost there, folks. Okay. The Rothschild family is almost there. And that's how they've gotten it, by supporting and funding both sides of every war. All right.
Since 1776, yes.
And when I went into Iraq, what did I find? I find all kinds of very interesting weapon systems, as I will be speaking this Thursday, okay, to our associate in Poland, Eastern Europe. I'm going to be talking about the interesting weapons from, say, France that I found in Iraq and so forth. Well, the other country, by the way, is Saudi Arabia. Has anybody heard anything from our government about the Saudis officially attacking us? Okay. Oh, I guess the what was it? The 19 hijackers were all supposed to be Saudi. Okay. And how many Americans have attacked Saudi Arabia? All right. How many Americans have attacked Israel? Okay. Well, the taxpayers paid $9 trillion. You know, it was, of course, it disappeared. The usual disappearing trillions. All right. They disappeared $9 trillion. Jack Abramoff, okay, sent all his money, which ripped off the American Indians. Guess where he sent it? He sent it to Israel. Bernie Madoff. God, who would anybody trust in their right mind trust somebody named Bernie Madoff? Okay. Well, surprise, Bernie Madoff sent all his billions of dollars to Israel. Does somebody see a pattern forming here? Okay.
September 10th, $2.3 trillion disappear, right? And then 9/11 the next day, so nobody talks about it, right? Because everybody forgot.
Oh yeah, conveniently forgets. Okay. And what did we get? We had to go to war because Saudi Arabia wanted us to knock off Iraq. Iraq wasn't into the terrorism business. I know. I got there. Anybody want to find out what I saw? Well, you can read it in my book. That's going to be coming out very shortly. All right. So, but the situation is such is that yes, Saudi Arabia wanted us to attack Iraq, and so did Israel. So did Israel, but they couldn't find out any decent reason why to attack Iraq. All right. So what we have here is the two countries that attacked us. Hey, we just gave them trillions of dollars more since that period of time. Okay. They attacked us, Israel and Saudi Arabia. In fact, this pisses me off so much. I'm going to tell you folks how ridiculous this is who designed and built the 9/11 memorial at Ground Zero? Israel.
Can I tell them?
God.
Michael Arad.
Yeah, you can.
The son of Moshe
Yes,
Arad.
yes, absolutely. Uh, and do you know who made off with a fortune? After bringing his own buildings down that he was leasing, and who gave him the money? Okay, I mean, Larry Silverstein, folks. Does anybody see a big deal happening here? Oi, oi, I can smell it a mile away. Oi, okay. Yes, Larry Silverstein, okay. I mean, even the former Attorney General, what was his name? Mickelson, okay. It turns out this thing is so goddamn dirty, our whole court system is so dirty that the former attorney general resided over the insurance claim by Mr. Larry Silverstein and actually gave him twice of what he was asking, gave him $9 billion.
Because he said not one but two towers, and there was not one but two strikes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Oh, and don't forget his building number 7, which he vehemently denied bringing down. Okay. So, well, everybody's sitting out there saying, well, gosh, there's nothing we can do. Oh, yeah, there is something we can do about it. First of all, we can quit giving Israel a whole bunch of money. They've been in the black for a long time now, folks. Their budget's been in the black. They're, right now, no matter what they say, they're making more money. All they have to do is pick up the phone and call, oi, 1-800-OI. All right. And what do they get? They get Washington. All right. Who can't wait to give them more money. And then what happens is the son-in-law of our president, he gets a call from Bibi Netanyahu and says, give us more money. And we've got more taxpayer dollars. That's not Washington's money, folks. That's your money. As U.S. citizens, that's your money. All right. Yes, Bibi Netanyahu conspired with Larry Silverstein to walk through the entire process of wiring those buildings, which took months. I know a little bit about demolition, being in the military. I actually went to a demolition school. Okay. Funny. The feds were crawling all over the place when I got there looking for somebody named Mr. McVeigh. Okay. As in Timothy McVeigh. All right. Well, the guy who supposedly brought down, I really doubt that anymore, supposedly brought down Oklahoma City, the Murrah building. All right. So, yes, here's what we have. We have Israel attacks us, Saudi Arabia attacks us, and what do? We turn right around at their request and attack Iraq. We attack Iraq, and now we're in a fight for our lives. We can't make any headway. I don't know why we would, but we can't make any headway against Syria. We can't make any headway in the Horn of Africa. Okay. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I am making it official now on your show, Luca. I'm taking this time up to say no more until we find out what happened on 9/11. All right? Forget it. We're not fighting any more wars, period. Okay? And as I started to say, what happened on December 9th, 1941? What's so important about that date? That was the last official war was declared with Congress, where it was done right. It wasn't, oh, we need to make more money. Okay? So they send their idiot son into the presidency, Shanghai the election process, and get him in there, and starts and then manages to slaughter 3,000 Americans, okay, which is what happened the last time. And then, oh, hey, this is great. We can make war anytime we want. Anytime we want. That's what we have now, folks. The President of the United States can order anybody in the sound of my voice, including all of us, murdered, tortured, assassinated, and he doesn't even have to give us a second thought. All right? That's what we have gotten now from 9/11, okay? No, we are not going to fight terrorism anymore. Oh, got to fight those terrorists, okay? No, we're not going to do it. We're not fighting some obscure war in a country that nobody even knows how to spell for no reason, all right? We've got 11 of those wars going on right now, folks. So yes, okay. And by the way, you'll be able to read about all of this in my book. All right. The
Absolutely.
macabre. When the Mukhabarat told me in person, Iraqi intelligence said, "You Americans have to be the stupidest goddamn people on the face of the earth. The stupidest. They can't even figure out who attacked their building." All right. And they thought it was funny. We were all having breakfast together and they thought it was hysterical. Okay. And Mohammed Atta, does anybody here think that Mohammed Atta really led that team? Okay. I got surprises for you. Now, the FBI panicked when I told them they didn't have the right ideas. They panicked, and they're still panicking. All right. Here's what we're going to do, folks. We need to have a 9/11 day. Okay.
Ah,
Have you seen any suggestion of that? Let's have a 9/11 day.
good idea.
I take it personal when my fellow Americans are slaughtered by our allies. Okay. And then we turn right around and send 3,000 more, 12,000 more young men into this slaughterhouse. All right. I take it real personal.
Mm-hmm.
And I take it real personal when I try to stop it, being strapped to a stretcher, tortured, and then declared crazy. All right. So, hey, by all means, let's have a 9/11 day. All right.
Good idea.
Okay, good.
Well, Greg, I don't know. It's like this. This is our 36th show together, I think, or 37th. And I'm going to go back to that meme that I shared on Snapshot today that says that everybody's at a different stage of consciousness. I've just about given up. I've just about given up to try to wake people up. I want to say that just like the meme said it, because first of all, there's nobody waking up. It doesn't seem, and to have somebody like you just said look at our country and say that we must be the stupidest, in the world because we don't even see, or we can't see, or we do see, which is even worse, and we don't address it. So we're just here to address the people who are at our level, or a little bit higher or lower on the scale, to try and get a grip and to see what we can do, because something has to be done. If there aren't people enlisting for wars, like Greg says, there won't be any more wars.
That's right. Mothers, don't let your babies grow up to be dead soldiers. All right? Because hell, even the first lady thought it was funny when she stated to America that she didn't even want to think about dead soldiers in coffins because it would trouble her beautiful mind. Okay, this is who we have running America, folks. All right, we have monsters running America. Does anybody think Dick Cheney is a nice guy? Well, I've got news for you. If you think so, give us a call. Send us a comment in the chat room. Oh yeah, Dick's a good guy. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, he didn't really start 9/11. He didn't really steal almost a couple $1 billion from the tax coffers of Wyoming by lying to the people of Wyoming. I mean, he didn't really supply the explosives that were used to wire the buildings. He didn't do that. Anybody out there, call in and argue with me, okay? In our chat room, send a message into our chat room, okay? You think Dick Cheney's a good guy and he's totally innocent of what I just said, all right? So, and if you think George Bush he was a man for the times. Even don't worry. My own mother, when I leveled those charges of torture and abuse at Abu Ghraib, my own mother contacted me and said, "No, son, you're wrong. That man has so much integrity. Rush Limbaugh wouldn't say that if he didn't have that kind of integrity." And then when I finally saw her, she turned her eyes to heaven when she talked about how wonderful George Bush was. Well, I got news for you folks. Like I told my mother, you're wrong, desperately wrong. And it's going to cost us about 12,000 American boys. And it's still every day now we have American boys dying. Oh, that's okay. All right. Because it keeps the price of gasoline down, right? Right? Tell the parents of all the boys that come home every week that, yeah, their son was worth the price of gasoline. Okay, please cut
And
it out.
they're destroyed. The people that come home are destroyed.
30 a day, 30 suicides a day. Okay, are the people that were there that are coming home that are committing suicide. Okay, funny. Dick Cheney was a draft dodger. George W. Bush was a draft dodger. Okay, and now who do we have in charge of? What is it with draft dodgers? Only draft dodgers can become president now. Donald Trump, draft dodger. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But boy, they love to surround themselves with tough talking military men, former military men. Okay, even military men that I've worked with. All right. So enough, people. Unless you want to be prepared to turn your son over, to turn your children over. Okay, to be slaughtered. Okay, fine, because we've got 11 wars that there's no end in sight. All right. So, by all means. By the way, that message right now, that's from David Talbot. Okay, David Talbot, as in the convenient terrorist. All right, David Talbot, who most of the big part of your listeners know the name Salon.com. Okay, well, fortunately, David Talbot was the first to carry my story. All right, whitewashing torture about me. Okay, he's leaving me a message now about a couple of things that we have breaking that you haven't heard about, and it just gets worse. One of them is the murder of the diplomatic security officer. Okay, like I said, with Hillary, everybody thinks it's funny, everybody thinks it's cute that Hillary's murdering a person a week. Okay, I don't. Okay, she has at least 200 murders. She's a serial killer. All right, she has 200 murders to her credit so far. Okay, that's what I'm having a message left to me about. All right, by David Talbot. Okay, so, and by the way, I invite everybody, go read my story on Salon.com. Whitewashing torture. All right, I think you'll see why it's so critical that we stand up to our government. Stand up to our government and say, no, we are not going to fight these plutocratic, autocratic wars anymore to make money for the Rothschild Bank. Is that clear? We're not going to do it. If you want to fight so goddamn bad, all right, fine. Donald Trump, put on a uniform, you big fat slob. You go fight. Dick Cheney, okay, yeah. Hey, I you have to admit, have you ever seen anything more dangerous than a weapon in the hands of Dick Cheney? Hell, his best friend, remember his best friend? He shot his best friend in the face and then had the audacity to blame him for it. Okay, blame him. Okay, that's what kind of imbeciles we have running this country. Okay, greedy sons of bitches. All right, running this country. And of course, they did it in Texas. What is it about Texas? Okay, that's where Dick Cheney shot his best friend, in Texas. All right. Well, yeah. to imitate George W. Bush. Okay. Yeah, all pretty funny stuff. And just think about all those boys that have been slaughtered because of that imbecile laughing and Dick Cheney wanting to make money for Halliburton. Okay. So that's where we're at right now. All right. I agree with you, everything you say, Luca. I hope that people are listening. It doesn't do any good to sit around, oh, yeah, that's really bad. You've got to tell your representative they are not getting in again. All right? Tell those phony balonies they're not getting in again. Funny. If they think you mean it, what do you think will happen? All these education programs, health programs. Oh, and that's another thing, speaking of the health program. I'll just say this. Gee, imagine this, okay? I actually want a program for the people that actually pay for it, okay?
Right.
And it's the people of America that pay for it, one way, shape, or form, all right? We get the same program that our politicians get, the healthcare program. We get it, okay? We get it, all right? Everyone gets it, exactly. And it doesn't cost them a dime. Guess what? It won't cost you a dime. Okay, and if you think that's too much of an issue, elect me. Hey, write my name in on the next election. Write my name in. Okay, you've got it.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
There goes the Bull Moose
Right.
Party again.
The Bull Moose Party. Hey, you got it. But here's the caveat. I just figured out how to improve the integrity 100% of medicine. Okay. Everybody listening, everybody turn up their radios. Here's what we're going to do. The Chinese figured this out about 5,000 years ago. Okay. So I figured it's time for us to figure it out. Medicine and the medical care providers, they don't get paid until they fix you. Oh gosh, well, we're going to have to call all these lawyers, okay, and get all these lawyers. They're another parasite too, okay, on the human condition, okay. Lawyers have it, $500 an hour. That's what a brain surgeon makes. Show me what blood sucking son of a bitch lawyer is worth $500 an hour. Well, they all seem to think so, okay. But guess what? Until these doctors actually cure you, and I don't care what it is. They know how to cure cancer, by the way, folks. Okay, as in nucleosides. Okay, go ahead, look it up. Nucleosides, they're absolutely death on cancers. Okay, but they've known this for damn near 100 years. Okay, done their best to make sure that most nucleosides are kept out of our food cycles. Okay, nucleosides. All right. Well, sure, we need to have, according to Big Pharma, we need to have something that costs $5,800 a week. Okay, 1 out of 30. Okay, medicines for the treatment of lung cancer alone. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. No one gets paid. No one gets paid until you're fixed. Okay. So you don't spend and check this out. Look this up. Research, as Luca, as we constantly are saying. Look this up. A human spends more the last week of his life trying to keep himself alive than most people spend their entire life on their medication and their health treatment. The last week. Okay. So what we're going to do? We're going to have free medicine, and no doctor, no medical firm, no big pharma is going to be paid until they make sure that the patient is alive and breathing and restored. Okay? Imagine going in to your mechanic, and your mechanic for your car says, oh, well, yeah, give me a whole bunch of money now. Give me thousands of dollars now. And I can't guarantee you if I'm going to fix your car. We'll check it out when I get around to it. Okay. And when you come in to check on it, guess what? He still hasn't done it. Okay. Your car is still not fixed. All right. How does that make you feel? Okay. Well, that's exactly what doctors pull on you. This, oh, we got to save your life routine. Oh, cut it out. Cut it out. Since modern medicine has taken over, we've got between 15 to 20 new lethal conditions that have attacked the human condition. 15 to 20 new, basically from the turn of the 20th century. Okay, we have gained 15 to 20 new lethal conditions. All right. So all of a sudden, guess what? Nobody's getting paid until they make it right, until they make you right, till you get healthy. Boy, you'd see an amazing turnaround. Okay. No one with cancer has to pay their doctor anything until they're cured of cancer. Oh my goodness, you'll see an amazing, a plethora, okay, a cornucopia of new cancer treatments that are effective, not the ineffective neurotoxin crap that they pump into you now. Show me, if you don't think so, show me a doctor. Show me one doctor that will treat his children, his family, with chemotherapy. If anyone comes down with chemotherapy, you can't find one. You can't find one oncologist that will do it. Are you kidding me? You're right. So they know better. And there's no oncologist that will allow themselves to be treated, okay, by chemotherapy or radiation or cutting, okay? Forget it. But of course, the implication is that this is all free that they're doing to help you, right? No, don't forget, they're going to stick you like you've never been stuck before, people. Okay, and with genetically modified foods and so forth, the stuff that just gives cancer, it's like candy to cancers, the different cancers that are starting. Guess what? Okay, elect me to the Bull Moose party. Okay, I will go in. Oh, well, they won't let him get anywhere near Washington. He'll get killed. Oh, really? Gosh, how is that any more dangerous than the wars they've stuck me in? All right, and believe me, okay, I know where the shots are going to be coming from. Okay, oi, oi, or hell, we'll look at all the bankers, the corrupt bankers. We'll look at these corrupt oil companies. Okay, the ones that are polluting the Gulf right now, that are causing these massive hurricanes. All right, sure, no problem, folks. Hey, vote me in. Just write me in. Of course, you'll never see my name on the roster, for the candidacy. Write me in. They won't tell you, but by law, you can write any single person you want in on your ballot. All right. So guess what? I can't think of a better way to straighten out America. Donald Trump isn't going to do it. Oh, we're the laughing stock of the world right now. Oh, of the known universe, we're the laughing stock. Yep. What is this crap about North Korea? I heard this morning. North Korea, okay. Oh, is this the mouse that roared? Okay. If you haven't figured it out, folks, what North Korea is all about, hey, they just want more money, okay? Because let's face it, what politician doesn't attach himself to the pork barrel of the U.S. government and pay these little hoodlums, these little thugs, to intimidate us, the American people? Oh yeah, hey, if we don't pay him a whole lot of money, we're going to have to build a bomb shelter in the back room, okay, or under your house, or whatever, in the backyard. All right. Oh, please cut it out. Okay. Pee-wee's dumb, but he's not stupid. Okay. He's not even that crazy, because we can't give him enough money to knock his hijinks off and his chicanery. All right. He's getting more money. Donald Trump even wants to donate money. Okay. So guess what, folks? You want to knock this crap off. Okay. Get somebody who's actually suffered at the hands of these organizations that are running America now. I think I qualify. All right. And if you don't think so, read my story. All right. So
and this is exactly why we're doing these shows. What Greg is talking about, every single thing that he's talking about on every show we've ever done, it's all about truth, and there's so many different angles that we have to cover. That's why these shows are just endless.
As I say, I always tell everybody, it's not enough to believe and to agree. You've got to act. That's the whole motto here. If you act, America will straighten itself out. Okay? The people that do this, hey, you are America. Everybody listening is America. All right? Not a bunch of corrupt, scheming, conniving, perverts. All right? Perverts that have run this country. Okay? As they say, if you want to get elected now, you got to have dirt on you. Well, guess what? All these pedophiles and perverts, okay, forget it. All right? The thing is you've got to act. Everyone has to act. All right? So there it is right there. And please call in with your ideas and concepts. Tell us what we need to talk about. All right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Luca, what do they want to hear about? Instead of sitting around, rotating on their hands and thumbs. Okay, hey, the deal is we got to take this country back, and it isn't going to be Donald Trump that's going to do it for you. I can tell you that right now. Okay, it's not the Bush family that's going to do it right now. OMG. Yeah. Have you people lost your mind? You think they're going to do it? Forget it. You've got to get action on your own. Okay, you've got to take action on your own.
Every single person in America.
Every single person has to demand that the government quit spying on you, spying in your home, compromising you any way they can, taking your children to go fight pointless, useless wars, these make-believe finance schemes so you can try to hopefully keep your house, all this crap. Hey, forget it, folks. Okay, we've been worried about it. We've been going along with it. And what has it gotten you now? Okay, got your house possessed, got your child murdered in some place you can't even spell. Okay, this is it. All right, everybody, jump on the dime. Okay, and you notify your representatives. Forget it. Don't care what a bunch of smarmy crap they have to say. Okay, pre-printed letters. Forget it. They either do it or else. Okay.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks again, Greg, for your wisdom and for sharing everything with us. We've come to the end of another show. So we'll talk very soon.
Hey,
we'll see you next time.
You're welcome. Okay, you've got it, Luca. Thank you.